Today I make my AFC predictions for this NFL season. I'm Nathan Gustafson, and this is Clutch Time. We'll dive right into it with the NFC East, where I expect what has happened for the last 20 years to simply continue. The Patriots are going to dominate the division this year. The Jets will actually be more competitive than a team usually is in the AFC East. They're going to be 8-8, but I have the Patriots winning it at 12-4. The Bills will actually have some impressive plays on offense. Josh Allen has a big arm. They have a couple pieces on defense. I really like Tre'Davious White, but 5-11 is about right for them. And the Dolphins are arguably the worst team in football. They'll be a 3-13 team. That brings me to the AFC North, where I have the Steelers winning the division at 10-6. Why do I have them over the Browns? Because of superior offensive line play, a superior front seven, a superior quarterback, and a much more proven head coach. I think the Steelers take a slight step forward this year without Antonio Brown. Although Antonio Brown was extremely talented, I think that the targets that he was getting on offense were way more than need be, which is funny that he wanted even more when Big Ben was throwing an incredible amount of picks while targeting Antonio. I think they take a small step forward. 10-6 this year is about right for them. Look, Browns fans, I just want to give a little PSA to you guys. You're going to be an 8-8, 9-7 team this year, and that's totally okay. Look how young and talented this team is. It's okay to be 8-8 in your first year together, or 9-7. You're going to be a lot better moving forward. You're going to be a lot better for the seasons like this one, where it's sort of a stepping stone season. You'll make the playoffs not this year, but next. That'll be when it's your time to shine. You just kind of got to take what you can get for now. It's much better than the 0-16 seasons that you've put up with in the past, so don't cry about 8-8. That's pretty respectable for a team this young that still has holes on the offensive line and in the secondary. The Ravens I have coming in third at 7-9. For some reason, I really pick them to take a bigger step back every year, and they never seem to, which is weird. But this year, I think it'll finally be that year. Lamar Jackson, defenses are going to figure him out. He can't really throw the football. He really limits their offense. The loss of both C.J. Mosley and Zadarius Smith will be felt in their front seven. Their defense will take a step back this year. For that reason, I have them about 7-9. And I think the Bengals are about a 4-12, 5-11 football team. I have them at 4-12 here. They're not as horrible as a lot of people think they are, but they're definitely not a very good defensive team. And Andy Dalton can't really carry a below-average roster because he himself is a below-average quarterback. 4-12 is about right for the Bengals this year. So, going back to those two divisions, nothing really changed for the AFC South. However, that is not the case. Originally, I had the Colts winning the division with Andrew Luck at 12-4. Without him, I think he's worth about 4 games to this team. I think they dropped to about 8-8. The Texans, Jaguars, and Titans all benefit from Luck's retirement. I had Luck beating the Texans twice. I now have them winning one. I had him beating the Titans twice. I now have them winning one. And I had the Colts splitting with the Jaguars. But with the loss of Andrew Luck, I think the Jags take both games. I think they match up too well with the pressure that they're going to put on Brissett, who my big complaint with is he holds onto the football for too long. So for that reason, the new order of the division, the Texans win it at 10-6, the Jags come in at second at 9-7, and the Colts and Titans round it out at 8-8 apiece. All right, and that'll bring me to the AFC West, where this is the one other team, the 4 games that I had being affected by Andrew Luck. I think the Chargers win an extra game in here. They go from 10-6 to 11-5, winning week 1. The Chiefs keep their 12-4 record. The Raiders and Broncos stay at 5-11. The Raiders and Broncos are kind of subpar teams. There's not really much to look forward to. The Raiders will be fun to watch at least. Antonio Brown, that thing's like a dumpster fire waiting to happen. At least their games will be entertaining. I feel bad for Von Miller for the lack of competency that's been put around him and Bradley Chubb on this defense. I really like Chris Harris, but there's too many other holes, both at safety, linebacker, and on the interior defensive line. And I think the Chargers are going to be really good this year. This is one of the more complete rosters in football. I think they're a threat to make some noise in the playoffs. I have them at about 11-5. And the Chiefs, who I believe to be the best team in football, I think they go 12-4. So this is what the seeding would have been for me had Andrew Luck played football this season. I had the Chiefs, Colts, and Patriots all at 12-4. The Steelers at 10-6. Those would be the top 4 seeds and division winners. And then the Chargers at 10-6 and the Texans at 9-7. With the Browns, Jets, and Jaguars all going 8-8 and just missing the playoffs. However, Andrew Luck did retire. He is not playing football this year. And because of that, this is what I have as the new seeding in the AFC. That will be the Chiefs and Patriots getting the first round byes at 12-4. The Steelers and Texans take the 3 and 4 seed at 10-6 apiece. The Chargers take the 5 seed at 11-5, and the Jags take the last wild card spot at 9-7, with the Colts, Titans, Browns, and Jets all coming just short of the playoffs as 8-8 football teams. Now moving into the playoffs and the wild card game before, I actually, because of tiebreakers, even though I had the Patriots at 12-4, I thought they would lose a bye for the first time in a long time this year. And I had them beating the Texans in the first round and the Chargers beating the Steelers. However, because the Patriots do get that bye, I have the Steelers beating the Jags and the Chargers beating the Texans in the first round of the playoffs. The Chargers are much better than the Texans roster top to bottom, and the Steelers will beat the Jags because Big Ben is a far superior quarterback to Nick Foles. I know we all love Nick Foles in the playoffs, but I will be taking the Steelers to win that football game. Going into the divisional round, I actually had Luck overcoming the Patriots for the first time in his career in this football game. Now we may never know if that would ever happen. He finishes his career 0-6 against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And I also had the Chiefs beating the Chargers. That stays constant. Look, this Chargers roster, top to bottom, they're a really good football team. I just don't think that they can match the offensive firepower of the Chiefs. I think they're actually kind of built to beat them because of the pass rush that they have. But it's a hump that they haven't seemed to get over. The Chiefs kind of have ownage on them, and for that reason, I'm going to continue to ride that wave. And then I have the Steelers losing to the Patriots once again in the playoffs. That's nothing new and shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. And for the AFC Championship game, my Super Bowl pick out of the AFC doesn't change here. With luck, I had the Colts coming just short, losing to the Chiefs. Now they'll simply switch spots with the Patriots, the Chiefs. This Chiefs team that they have this year is built to go to the Super Bowl. They have a whole new defense coming in. They add Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark. Patrick Mahomes gets a little bit more experience. He's going to be even better than he was last year. Even if the stats don't reflect it in the regular season, I don't expect him to throw 50 touchdowns again. But come playoff time, I think he'll be more prepared, more ready to go. And I think that this is the year that the Chiefs overcome the Patriots and make the Super Bowl. All right, tune into the episode that I will be releasing immediately, actually, where I make my award predictions and I let you know who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. Thanks for watching.